It's officially been 1 whole week since we brought our leisure travel van home, and we're absolutely obsessed with it. We love it. No buyer's remorse here. A lot of you asked for an RV tour, which we did do when we were shopping for a van, but we're heading over to Lake Perris right now to give you a proper tour.
Yes, and today has so far already been a very exciting day. A few things. One, I made my first RV repair.
What?
And I wanted to be like upset and call the dealership and tell them, hey, something is wrong. But it's literally, and I'll show you as we do the tour, but a little bracket that holds the bathroom mirror closed and open. And it's very cool, very versatile, which you'll see. But they just didn't put backings for the screws, which I don't think maybe you needed them, but as we were driving and stuff, they kind of
it got loose.
So I reinforced those. Also, we did our first little wash down. Not like a full detail like it deserves.
Yeah, just a quick little rinse, you know?
It might rain in the next few days, so maybe Mother Nature will give us that full shower that it needs. But we did a quick wash down, and now we're doing something for the first time that it's probably the least exciting thing that we'll have to do today, for sure.
Or it just might make us broke.
It might make us homeless, but we can't be homeless because we have this.
There it is.
So that's the goal. But we are getting gas. We have about a quarter of a tank, I would say. Maybe a little bit more than a quarter of a tank. This holds 24 gallons. So I'm going to say we probably need about 18 gallons of gas. And diesel isn't that much here. It's only $7.39.
Okay, well, and you guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, that's so expensive, because a lot of you, I've seen pictures where diesel's like $5, which if that's the case, let us know where you're at, because we will be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I hear people complain like, I can't believe I spent $5 on diesel today. I'm like, I can't believe you only spent $5 on diesel.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that it's probably going to cost us, because I don't know exactly how much gas we need, but I'm going to say like 160 bucks. I'm going to actually go put in 160 bucks because I don't like using my card at the pump. So I'm going to go do that and then see if that actually fills us up or not.
I'm going to say about 168 or 172.
So you think we're not going to light up all these little bars when I get 160 bucks?
No.
So let me go put some gas in here and see how close we are.
All right, so while he does that, you let us know in the comments, how much do you think it's going to end up being for us to fill up our gas tank? So we did it. It happened. Tell us how much we ended up spending.
So both of us were a little ways off. It ended up being $134.66.
You know, and how much was it?
$7.39, I believe, for diesel.
You know, I'm actually really shocked.
Yeah, and we needed just over 18 gallons. So I was right with how many gallons we needed. I just definitely did not do the math properly, but I was expecting to spend a little bit more.
You know, I'm pretty sure there's so many people out of state, out of California, who are thinking, you guys are crazy. But I will say, when we picked up the van, it had a full tank of gas, and we drove quite a bit with that gas tank.
Yeah, and it actually gets better mileage than our other car. I believe we were getting like around 16 miles per gallon, which is very optimal in the other car without air conditioning, flat surfaces, going downhill half of the time. So, I mean, it makes me almost want to drive this all the time just to save gas, but it's also a matter of, we want to put more miles on this.
Yeah.
Not until we hit the road.
I do want to say, I think on one trip, we got up to like 17.2 miles per gallon.
It was a highlight.
Yeah, it was very exciting. We were celebrating.
Yeah, but now we're gassed up. We got the interior repaired, what was needed, which was not a lot, but I'm still proud of myself for doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We're washed up. Let's head to Paris.
Ooh. As we're getting off the freeway, I do want to say something. We are just showing up to the Lake Perris campground. We have no reservations. It has been a gloomy day. I feel like it's been hot, it's been cold, so I'm not expecting there to be a ton of people, especially because kids should be back in school. People got work tomorrow, so I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Never underestimate people just wanting to have a good time, though.
That's
Sunday
true.
is a day people go to church. Afterwards, they get something to eat. Maybe then they go find a place to congregate and socialize. Lake Perris could be it.
You think Lake Perris is going to be it?
You know, within a 10-mile radius, Lake Perris might be one. I mean, we're going there.
That's true.
It's one of the cooler areas to go, at least that we're aware of. But while we are heading there, I just want to say one more thing about how amazing this RV is, which I'm sure there'll be 100 more things that we say.
Yeah.
But the driving experience is like so smooth. I heard somebody say that driving these Mercedes Sprinters is like an airplane, and that's pretty accurate.
Have you driven an airplane before?
I've been in an airplane, so I can kind of have the sensory of how that could feel, and it definitely is similar. But I used to drive a lot of RVs when I sold them. Every week we would have to take them and get gas. And you drive some of those bigger ones, and you stand up expecting for stuff to be open, things to be broken, because it's so loud. And this one is like smooth, it's quiet. To me, there was a little bit of nervousness about buying one of these and having issues, but I just feel very blessed that we ended up up in this one. And so far, all signs lead to amazing experience.
Jared has been watching nonstop videos of leisure travel vans, but I definitely agree. We did rent one years ago, an actual Class C RV, and it was very loud driving. It sounded like all of the windows were open, all of the drawers were open. It was pretty intense. Maybe we just got a real faulty one, but I'm excited. So far, it's been so comfortable, and Walter, as you can see, has been passed out this whole time.
Oh, he's chilling.
And he absolutely loves it. So fingers crossed that we're able to find a spot to park so we can give you guys a proper tour.
Yeah, because we actually don't even know where we're going to park. We just know it's beautiful there.
Yeah.
And we're anticipating being able to park somewhere. I just at least want a view of the ocean. Well, I guess we can't get the ocean of the lake, you know? I want it to be ocean-esque, I guess is what I'm saying. Something like that.
Let's see if we end up getting that. I don't feel too good about it. All right, we're here. We've arrived. Now to see if we can find a spot.
And I believe it's gonna be like a day parking rate. Maybe like $10 or so, which I did not bring any cash. So I'm hoping they accept tap or card.
You know, we did come here when we didn't have to pay at all because it was open.
I think you're supposed to leave money in like a donation box, but I didn't see a box. If
Maybe
I did, I would have definitely paid if I saw something.
For the day, we can't be.
Just hanging out for the day.
It's gonna be $10.
Cool. Do you guys accept card?
Yes.
There's no getting out of that, huh?
Card or
Yeah. All right, step one, we came in, which obviously was super easy. And now to find the perfect spot to give you guys this tour. It's very beautiful if you guys haven't been to Lake Paris. We used to ride our bikes around and it's gorgeous.
So we are officially here, parked at Lake Paris, and I will say it is way more dead than I thought it would be.
Yeah, there's not a ton of people. The parking lot is pretty dry.
Yeah, I will say there's a lot of people on the other side, but as far as over here, it just hasn't filled up yet.
Not yet.
Maybe the weather isn't calling for people to come to the lake, but it is a very beautiful day. Perfect conditions for us to give you an amazing tour of the Unity. We still don't have a name, so make sure you leave in the comments what you think we should name it.
Somebody did say we should name it Unity since it's already on the actual van.
That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Maybe we could have Unity in the name somehow. We could work it in there some way.
Okay.
Who knows? But let's go ahead and start with the outside. The first thing before it gets too windy, I want to show you the awning. Go out, detract. I believe it's gonna be about 7 feet out and about 12 feet wide. Obviously, we don't really need it today, but we might as well show you. And the cool thing about it is it's also on a sensor where if the wind gets too intense and it starts bouncing around the awning, it'll actually retract on its own.
And it also has LEDs. Ooh, very cool.
And I did that on my phone. Boom, I can turn all the lights on and off. I can turn the generator on. I can turn the air conditioning on. I believe there's only a few things I can't do on my phone, but very cool. I'm excited to kind of dig more into that, especially as we travel and kind of see even more features that it has. So now you've seen the awning, you've seen the lights, you've seen that I could do all this on my phone. Very exciting stuff.
Well, and these lights also dim.
Oh, they do dim. I don't think you'll be able to see that necessarily in this video because of the daytime, but maybe in a future video we'll do like a whole dimming thing.
Our first night, and we'll show it then.
Our first night, dimming the lights. So you will see it's on a track. It'll automatically go back in right now. Give it a second, you know? Nothing good happens quick. You want to give it time. What's very cool about that is we had the trailer for almost like 10 years and we never once put the awning out.
No, it was like you had to physically like roll it out and it was a big process. But the cool thing about this awning is that if you wanted it just to be open like halfway, you could easily do that.
The step does automatically go in and out when you close the door and open it, but I have this set on override just to kind of help out the motors. So I'll close it, it'll stay open. You kind of want that once you're on a campsite. You don't want it to keep going in, going out. But as you see on the bottom here, there's a pretty good amount of storage. I think the one thing when you get a Class B is you do sacrifice some of that on the outside, but Leisure does a good job. One of the things I'm most stoked about. Even like how the latches work, it's pretty cool because you unlock it and then when you open it like this, it loosens the suction off of the walls, making sure that they keep all the water and all that stuff out. And then boom, there we go. I don't know exactly what we're gonna put there, but something's gonna go there. And it's all steel, they carpet the inside. So like we were talking about how we did research and we've really been happy with the build quality. That's one of those things. A lot of times they use almost like a cardboard-esque material and once water hits it, it's ruined. And then even the top of these doors right here is curved. A lot of them are just gonna be straight. Very much stylish, but also it helps the water drain properly off of it.
Especially when it's raining or, you know, things like that.
Yeah, especially when I just washed it. Imagine, it could have started leaking like crazy. And then you turn this, tighten everything up. I'm not gonna lock it right now, but obviously you can lock it. But walking down, continuing, this is just gonna be a vent for the refrigerator power. So if we wanna have like an outside TV or plug anything in, we could do that. There's another storage right here, but I believe this is actually where the inverter is. So we'll just kind of give a little
And I think it does have a little side storage, right?
Oh yeah, so we got a side storage and then the inverter, and what that does is, for any of you that don't know, which I didn't know before we got an RV, but that converts the battery power into 110. So once you turn that on, you can plug things into the outlets that are inside of the actual unit.
Like a coffee maker.
Yeah.
A blow dryer.
And then over here is going to be the largest of the outside storage. Right now, we do have the ladder that goes onto the back. We have that feature on this. I have a couple of things for the camera. I have a tripod, a little selfie stick, all that good stuff.
And I feel like that's going to be enough storage for us, especially because we have so much space inside of the van.
Yeah, once you see inside, you'll see there's storage pretty much everywhere in here. We're just kind of walking around.
Well, are you going to just walk by these beautiful windows?
Okay, you're right. These are frameless windows. I forgot the word for them. They're like telescoping or something like that, where you could actually open them with the little dial and you'll see that from the inside. But the good thing about these windows is if it's raining, the rain will actually just hit the window and fall off, as opposed to if the whole thing was open, water could get into the unit. So that's why people do like these a lot. And the cross breeze that you get from the inside, because they're on either side of the unit, is very nice.
Very nice.
But walking around, you'll see here is a ladder, and then we have the attachment that you saw in the storage. So that way you can access the roof, which is very important. You want to do resealing. You want to wash the solar panels that we have up there every couple of years. So very cool that it has that feature. I've heard of people that didn't have the ladder and had to like go buy one at Home Depot. So another cool thing that we got.
Ladder is very important.
A ladder is very important. All of the walls and the ceiling are all vacuum bonded. They don't use any kind of wood framing. So there's not going to be like mold and mildew and things like that do occur in other units.
Because they do say there's no way water can get in there.
There's no way.
No way.
If water gets in, they'll give you $1 million.
No, they will not.
They won't, but that would be very cool if they did. And then back here, we call this the business center.
Okay.
You know, it's what nobody gets excited about necessarily, but it's exciting stuff going on back here.
Who calls it the business center?
I've heard a few people say it and I like it. I'm not going to bore you with all the specifics here, but this is where you dump the sewage. Ours does have a macerator, which is kind of like a garbage disposal for your toilet.
You know,
that's gross.
That's actually a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, it mashes everything up and it's gonna get grosser if I talk, but typically what you do, and we do still have the hose over there, is you pull the hose out and gravity kind of does the job for you, but the macerator tank actually pumps it. So we could dump uphill if we wanted to. Yeah. That's what they say. You could dump uphill.
When we were looking at these, all I heard was, you could dump it uphill. It's like, okay, I get it. You're gonna dump it uphill.
You could spray it all over the place if you want to do. Gross. So this is where the propane is gonna be, because we do have a generator. You'll see that in a second. It runs off of the propane. A cable hookup. So I guess if you're camping somewhere that hasn't updated their site since like the 80s, you can hook up to cable. And then this is going to be an outside shower. Right here, we have the cool little, hose going on. So you plug that in and then boom, you're washing your feet. You're washing your whole body.
You're washing your sandy feet.
We got Wally right here. Very easy, very convenient. A lot of times RVs have these components kind of scattered throughout the unit. So it's very nice that it's all in one place. Come on. Look at this portrait aviary window, I believe is what they call it.
It's gorgeous. And I do like how there's windows here and you'll see inside, this is actually a emergency door.
It's like an emergency escape.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to test out exactly what that's like. I think the window is probably just going to fly out and break. This is where you would hook up power. So we do have self-contained power in the unit, but when you go to a campsite with hookups, you just open that up, you hook it up to the power, and then you could run everything off of the city's power.
Yeah.
And not have to use your batteries or anything. This is the water heater. And evidently the Truma AquaGo is the most reliable water heater you can get. It is cool because it does have a couple of modes. Like if you can see right here, this holds 1 liter of water. So there's something called comfort mode. And on comfort mode, it'll constantly keep that water hot. So the second you use a faucet for hot water, you have it immediately. And then if you go on eco mode, it heats up fast, but you do have to wait for it to actually start the process.
Yeah,
So
it just runs through it.
Very cool feature. I'm excited to actually use that. I think on our trailer, we maybe used our water heater once. It's a brand new water heater that's been used once. And then right here, I believe this is going to be the last actual storage area, because right here is going to be the generator. Oh, well, there's actually our plug for our 30 amp power. So that's what you would plug into here and plug into the city. So very cool. I didn't even know they gave us one of those. Right here is going to be the generator. And what the generator does is when you're not hooked up to power, it basically provides you that power. This is very nice. And when we bought it, I believe it only had like 45 hours of generator use, which is
so crazy.
It's almost like they never used it. They only turned it on just to make sure it works sometimes. So now we get, pretty much a brand new generator. So that's rad.
Which it was cool. I don't know if you want to go through. But when we purchased this, it was such a great deal. One, just like money wise, but two, the owners that had this before did so many upgrades.
Yeah, like one thing, I'll show you the controls as we get inside, or maybe you could show them, but it has leveling jacks that actually come down. So there's 4 jacks that will come down and they auto level it to be perfectly level.
Yeah.
So that way you're not rocking around, you're not falling off of a bed, which would have to be pretty intense, but I mean.
And those are expensive.
Cool. It's like $10,000 if you want to add those.
Yeah, it's wild.
This one also has the lithium battery package, which is an extra like $4,000 if you do with the factory. It has 400 watts of solar on top that's constantly charging the batteries. That's another like couple thousand. So the people who bought it before us definitely put the bells and whistles on it.
Yeah.
And we benefited from it. One of the things about the Mercedes Sprinter that I really like is it actually has a step right here. So you can step on this and wash your windshield, because I don't know if you'll be able to catch it, but up here, that little black area is where the radar or whatever it is active. So you have the assisted cruise control and all of those features. So you want to make sure you keep that clean. If that's dirty, you're in a lot of trouble. Maybe not.
Well, I mean, hopefully you still have eyesight that, you know, you can actually use your own judgment.
Yeah, but in order to really maximize the experience, you definitely want to keep that clean. Let me just show you the last few lights. We do have a nice little light. I'm not sure if you'll catch it, but an entrance light. So if it's dark outside, you can see where the handle is. And if you look up here, porch light.
Okay, we've got a lot of light going on here.
All the light we'll ever need. But now I think it's time to go inside.
Let's go. Come on in. Welcome inside. I still can't believe this is going to be our full-time home very soon. It's so exciting, but it's made us realize very quickly that managing our expenses on our own is not going to cut it, especially once we hit the road full-time, which is why I've been using Monarch, a private ad-free personal finance platform, which is perfect for us because we need to get serious about budgeting while we're on the road, especially for this unexpected cost. Because as they say in RV life, it's not if something happens, it's when something happens. Not to mention with things like gas, campgrounds, and groceries, it's going to be so easy to lose track of our spending. What I really love about Monarch, it gives us one clean dashboard for everything. Bank accounts, credit cards, investments, recurring bills, spending. It even provides a debt payoff progress, all in one place, which means I'm not bouncing around between a million different apps. And since Monarch syncs with over 13,000 financial institutions, it's so easy to set up your account. The best part, I can stay on top of our budget without feeling overwhelmed by it. I can separate our fixed expenses from our flexible spending. I can customize categories and quickly see where our money is going each month without it feeling so stressful. Another thing that has been so helpful is Jerid and I have been using the shared view feature during our monthly expense meetings, which has made budgeting feel so much more collaborative, and it makes sure that we're on the same page when it comes to our spending. And their AI-powered insights are incredible. They really give us a full understanding of our spending habits, which has been huge. Monarch truly has been a game changer for us as we enter this next chapter in our lives, and I know it'll be a game changer for you too. So to start your free trial and get 50% off your first year, click the link below or use code YAW50 at checkout. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, Monarch. Not sure if we mentioned before, but this is going to be a 2023 leisure travel van, and the model is going to be a Unity 24RL, which 24 means that it's the length of living space, and the RL means rear lounge. So we're going to start there first.
I think the rear lounge is really what got my attention.
Yeah,
first.
It really sold him, and then it didn't really sell me, but I thought it was a cool addition to what we're looking at. But before we go all the way in there, I do want to show you something pretty cool. So here is a control station. So this, you're able to turn on the ceiling light, the accent light, the galley light, as well as the water pump. It also has the fan up and down and the fan power, as well as the light master on. So it can turn on all the lights in here and turn them off. And there's actually 3 locations that you could do that. There's one here, one in the bathroom, and one all the way in the back.
There's actually 4 because there's one also right here.
Well, you know,
hidden behind a bag, but it's right there.
There it is. So I will go over this area, but this is considered the kitchen. So let's scoot over here. Let's start off with the bathroom. And before we get in there, let's take a look at this curve door here. I love this because once you get inside, you'll see that it makes it feel more spacious. And once you're out here, it kind of gives it more of a smoother transition to the back.
Very nice transition space. Okay.
Right. So let's look in here. There's a ton of storage here. So there is a storage here.
Wow.
Look,
monstrous.
I already have my makeup in there, but of course we're going to organize it properly before we hit the road. And then here on the corner, there's more storage along with the toilet paper holder. Here's a hand towel holder. And my favorite part that I absolutely love is this mirror right here, because latch. Here's the latch Jared said he fixed. You can close it, and that is your mirror and also your curtain.
Look at that.
That way nobody's looking in while you're using the restroom. So this is going to be a porcelain toilet, and the flush area is here on the side, which is neat. And once we open here, you'll see this water filter, which filters out the water through the whole van, which is pretty exciting. And then I really like that they have this cover for the sink in case on those traveling days you want to put something in there so it doesn't move around, or just for like a cleaner look.
Very nice. And then you have your little, I don't know, is that like a water spit cup or something like that?
Yeah,
with a little
when you're
soap dish?
brushing your teeth, or you could just put your toothbrush in there. But I really love this bathroom. It definitely sold me. And it also has a 16-inch exhaust fan, which is perfect for when it's really hot in there, or it's a little stinky in there.
It's much needed, for sure, especially in a tight space like this.
Definitely. I love it also because this van does not have a wet bath, which Jared also is not a fan of when we were looking at the other vans, meaning it has its own separate shower. So let's open this door.
Dang.
Okay, and it's really cool because maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but in the front, there's like a living space. We'll show you later. So you can close this door and it connects here. And that way the person in the front has their own privacy and you have your own privacy out here.
And also because this is the bedroom, officially, it also is kind of like a bedroom door, which is nice.
A bedroom door. There you go. So let's take a look at the shower. It's pretty cool. I'm absolutely obsessed with the fact that they have this bar here. So for your towel, if you want to hang dry it, or like a bathing suit, it also has a light here. You want to use it at nighttime, and it also bevels out so that way Jared doesn't hit his head.
Perfect. And it has my favorite feature, the little pull-out shower head. And it has like a little on-off nozzle because one of the things is you really have to conserve when you're boondocking. So that way you could control the flow of water coming in and out.
There you go. It also has this door here, and it has a little squeegee effect that it takes up all the water.
Yeah, it's a squeegee door.
Squeegee door. And of course, it has a full-length mirror here, so that way you can check out your fit before you head out.
I'm looking good.
Next up, my favorite part. Look at all the space for the wardrobe. I gotta take out these pillows.
Yeah, the pillows, they actually wanted to show us that you could put pillows on the bed and put it back up, and they just kind of left them in here.
They kind of left them in here. We're gonna throw them out because we're not gonna reuse this.
We don't even know where they got them from.
No, and it's really cool because it has a light here, which that way you can figure out exactly what you want to wear. And I feel like for a van, this is so much space. I'm shocked.
Yeah, leisure travel van is known for having an amazing use of space and all the storage. And I mean, as we continue touring it, you're gonna see that.
Oh yeah, and I really like it too because we did decide that we're gonna bring a nice outfit, each of us, in the case we're on the road and we wanna do something fancy. So this is a perfect amount of space for that, and maybe some extra clothes, you know?
Yeah, well, and there is room for more clothes. All the clothes aren't gonna just fit right there.
Well, I have a lot of clothes. That's why the storage area is my favorite spot. I wanna see how many clothes I can fit in here. And here we have 3 huge drawers. Look at the depth of this.
Wow.
It's huge. And it has like a little soft clothes, which we always like. Another one. Same amount of space. And then, here's another.
Look at all that. Walter can sleep in there.
While he's inspecting it, he's like, okay, it's enough room for my stuff. Then, look over here. Boom. I'm just going to open them up like bam.
And let's just note the hinges, or whatever this is called. It's a little lever right here that opens up and actually will lock these cabinets. And when you close it, it's soft touch. And it locks into place.
As you see here, there's like a little hook that it connects to, so it holds everything in place. And it's all along this wall as well.
Look at all of that. Wow. And just so you guys know, in case it looks a little crooked, we are on a little bit of a slant.
Yeah.
We did put down the leveling jacks, but we're going to have to get some sort of leveling bricks
Blocks.
or something like that to
Yeah.
actually help it out a little bit, because right now we're on quite the slope.
And you know, you don't notice it at first, but once you sit here for a minute and then on camera, I'm sure you'll see it. It's definitely noticeable.
Yeah, they're like, where are they? On the side of a mountain? But very cool.
And I do want to mention that when we were looking at the RVs before, after leaving, we really wanted something with quality materials. This is all real wood, no particle board. And that just shows that leisure travel vans really care about the quality that they put out.
Yeah, I mean, I believe they only put out like 600 of these a year compared to the tens of thousands that other brands do.
And you know what we should probably do? Maybe we can even link that video where it shows you the whole process because it's fascinating.
Yeah, I'll put a factory tour in the description if you actually want to watch that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So that's going to be the storage storage up here. Also, they have these little slots down here for extra storage.
Whoa, is that a TV right there? I mean, let's not just pass over the TV.
Okay, this van has 2 TVs, 2 sound bars. It's pretty legit. We don't even have 2 TVs in our home right now.
Yeah, this is a huge upgrade from our current living space.
So as you guys saw that we have storage up here, but we also have 1 storage cabinet right here. Let me just open that up for you.
Very cool. And then this pillow actually is what you would use to make the bed in the front, which we'll show you in a minute here.
It's pretty neat. Okay, let's put this back.
And I mean, why don't you talk about these? Look at these windows.
I was going to mention which right now we have this window open and these windows, and the breeze is next level. So let's talk about these windows. As we mentioned outside, here is an emergency exit, which a lot of you guys were concerned to make sure that we had an emergency exit in the case something happens and we need to get out and we can't get out through the front door. So I really like that. I love that it has this additional window here, which really opens up the place, which, let's be honest, this layout alone does that, but I just love the extra light.
Yeah, it's going to be so beautiful to be parked at the beach looking out at it.
The beach, the woods, really anywhere.
The mountains.
A Walmart parking lot.
There it is.
All right. And then as you guys can see, it has the L shape. It has all of the outlets on the sides here, as well as the USB, which I feel like that might be a little dated, you know, but we could always do like adapters.
Oh yeah, there's adapters, and you know what? They're outdated, but we have a bunch of USB cables.
A ton of them because we have old phones.
So now we can use them.
There it is. Also, I want to mention the AC. Normally you see units where the AC is up in the front or in the middle, and it's just really bulky. Well, not in an LTV. They actually have it mounted on top, and they have duct throughout the whole van. And so now you see these vents, and they're all for the AC and the heater.
Yeah, and you can actually shut them off in the front or the back, depending on where you're at, and you could really force the air to be where you're hanging out as opposed to just kind of circulating the whole van, which is nice.
It's really nice and very powerful.
It's 15,000 BTU.
I don't even know what that means, but it's powerful. So next up, I'm going to show you Jerid's favorite part. Let me have him demonstrate it.
I don't know if you could see that, but my legs are elevating right now.
What?
So I could sit here, I could look out at this beautiful lake, watch TV. I mean, this is the life right here.
Well, what about me?
You're sitting right here. Baby boy's over there. Baby boy doesn't need a recline necessarily.
Yeah, he has a whole side of a couch.
His whole section, but I would feel bad if I was the only one reclining. So I'm going to go ahead and let you do the same thing.
What?
Dang. All right, but all good things must come to an end. Go ahead and put this down for now.
And just to keep in mind, Jerid is almost 6 feet tall.
I am well above 6 feet.
Yeah.
By centimeters, possibly. So these retract, of course. Cool little remote to actually do all of that. And although you could sleep in those, you don't. There's actually a bed back here. Did you want me to set it up?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to do, and I think this was one of the things early on that was kind of a potential deal breaker for us, which was having to set up the bed every single day. But
until he saw the recliner, then, you know.
It's the give and take. And also, you can always leave a bed down as long as you want.
Yeah.
But to put this bed down is fairly easy. You do have to move these cushions, which is probably the most labor-intensive part. So now that we got all the cushions removed, this is a Murphy bed. It has a little latch right here. So what you want to do is just lift up this latch, and then right here. Oh, actually, it does have this leg support, which we didn't know when we first looked at this, and we were going off of just the hinges, and it was a little sketchy.
It wasn't a good look.
This makes it a lot less sketchy. This gives it some nice stabilization, but this is going to be just under a queen size bed, I believe. It's like 74 inches by 58 inches. And there was a little concern. We thought, is it too small? We hadn't actually laid on it before we bought it.
I don't know if it was the size that we were worried about or like the weight limit.
The all around size was a little concerning, I guess, of us, of the bed. But we did lay down on it the other night, and it's like perfect.
Oh my gosh. It is really perfect. I do think it maybe needs like a little pillow top because it is a little hard, but I loved it. And enough room for Walter.
Oh, Walter has plenty of room in this RV. And it does have a nice little cubby over there where you can actually plug in your phone, all that good stuff. A strap, so after you make the bed, you could just strap it down and put the bed right back up. The bed's fully made. I'm guessing, I know you think that we're going to have the bed down like 90% of the time.
I'm pretty sure of it.
I think it's going to be down like 50% of the time. I think once we start using the lounge area, we start doing things back here, it'll add a lot of value. Very cool little back area. And then to put it up, you just use the same latch. It goes up right here. Boom, boom. This goes down. And like you said, as far as having two different working spaces, the only thing that's not functional at this moment is the cable for the unit because it was missing like one little screw.
Yeah, so we're waiting for that to come in.
So the dealership ordered the screw. We'll probably go pick it up next week or so we can have that. But a table can go right here. I'll put an image of it so you can actually see what that would look like. Here's the mechanism right there. And then it's like a swivel table, so you can move it this way, you can move it that way. So my thing is, there's not a cushion behind me, but I'll probably do like editing right here. Maybe look over for 5 minutes, watch a little something, back to the edit. But I'm very excited about the fact that we didn't have to sacrifice any kind of comforts like that, because that was my main concern getting something smaller, is having to edit in a very cramped space, not being able to have the two separate areas. So that's another reason this back area is just my favorite, because it represents all of those things. And I mean, look at the lighting.
I will say I did want a smaller van. You guys know I was rooting for that, but this is really a perfect mix of what we both wanted. I know I've said that before. I do like how it gives us two separate workspaces and like an actual comfortable space to have dinner. So that's really nice too. All right, so as we head to the kitchen, I do want to show you something real quick. This right here is a thermostat sensor. So it definitely tells us the temperature inside, which is beneficial, especially when we have our AC on, because we want to know what the temp is. And I just thought it was cool because I would have never guessed that was a thermostat.
I thought it was like a magnet.
I thought it was actually for the shower door, but I was like, that doesn't align. And then I found out what it was. Pretty
Very
cool.
impressive leisure travel vans.
All right, so here is our fridge. Here is the freezer, good amount of space. Here is the refrigerator part, which is pretty huge. And this fridge is a two-way fridge, meaning it runs on propane and battery, which is pretty cool. But let's say you're in the lounger, you want something to drink. You don't want to crawl over here to open up the door. No worries.
Dang, look at that. What about the freezer?
Boom.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty impressive. All right, so this is gonna be our microwave, which is amazing size. Look at that.
Wow, look at that. And it's also a convection microwave, meaning you can bake in it.
We can make brownies, muffins, we can do anything.
Dino nuggets?
Not dino nuggets. We're taking a hiatus on that. We're not doing that again.
They're not bad for you necessarily.
Not for a while though.
But we might have been overdoing it on the dino nuggets for a minute there.
We were definitely depending on them when we could easily have gone like chicken thighs.
Yeah.
All right, so as we step into the kitchen, like I said, we also have this huge pantry.
Wow, look at that.
That's ginormous.
It's almost as tall as you.
Well, I'm not that tall, but it's still impressive.
I ain't mad at it.
So here is underneath our kitchen sink,
Look at
a little
that.
trash can area.
I'm very curious how long that trash can is going to last. I wonder if like if one day we're going to fill it up.
I'm assuming it's going to fill up within like 2 hours.
I would assume it's going to be very quick.
Also, another thing that was super impressive when we looked at this was the size of the sink. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we've seen plenty of RVs. We've seen plenty of trailers. I don't think I've ever seen a sink this big.
Besides our trailer, because we put an industrial sink in it,
Yeah.
this has to be the largest sink I've seen.
It's huge. And it's cool that you add this. It's extra counter space.
There it is.
All right, so we mentioned earlier that there's 2 TVs, 2 sound bars. Here's our other TV and our sound bar right here.
Look at that. And then nice little bit of storage above it right here.
You can put some seasonings, maybe some cereal, snacks, whatever you want.
Dino nuggets. No, I gotta get away from the dino nuggets. They have to be frozen anyways.
I also like how they have extra storage here. So you can put maybe like salt, pepper, seasonings that you normally would grab. And then you also have your paper towel rack as well.
And then a little plug right there for a coffee maker or something.
Coffee maker. Okay, you come this way. More storage. Check this out right here. I mean,
oh my goodness.
oh, right now we have our,
Yeah,
our
right
camera
here
stuff.
we have, and I think at some point in the future we'll go over the setup we're going to be using in here for cameras, because it's a lot more extensive than what we normally would do.
We're talking multiple angles, okay?
Yeah.
Driving angles, front facing angles, everything.
Yeah, we're getting crazy with it. And then here is going to be where the DVD player, the TV box, the antennas, and then all that good stuff is going to be.
Yeah, I had no idea what a switchboard was until I saw this bad boy, but it's cool. That means I can make it where this TV is watching something and the other TV in the back is watching something else. And it's really cool because it also has, this is where you'd want to actually do your satellite, your cable, your internet. This RV actually comes with a WineGuard, which is a internet booster. So you can also do that through WineGuard or your internet service.
Yeah, you could get a SIM card and put your extra SIM card in there, but I think we're going to go with a different internet option.
Yeah.
But that is for a future conversation.
Yeah, if you guys have any recommendations for it, go ahead and let us know in the comments. I know a lot of people use Starlink, so we're looking around. We're doing some research.
There's a lot of research to be done in general, but I think the internet is going to take the longest to really hone in on.
Definitely. So a ton of storage, like you can see. And I also really like how there's storage down here as well that's open. And it's really nice because at night we can turn off these lights and just have these accent lights on, and it's really pretty.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And talking about letting some light in, you want to show them
Oh,
the
yeah.
skylight? Okay, so you just open this right up, you get an amazing amount of air coming in, and then let's say you want to keep the bugs out, you just keep the bugs out. Let's say you want to keep keep the sun out, you just keep the sun out. And a kind of cool part about this is when we initially inspected the RV, there was a little crack in the top glass part, and they couldn't replace just that, so they actually replaced the whole skylight unit.
We really lucked out on that.
And then you know what? I guess while I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and really quickly. So this is going to be the control panel that is for the things that the Firefly system doesn't actually work. So this is going to be the solar charge control area. It lets us know that it is charging the batteries, what level our batteries are on. This is for the equalizer jacks, so you can actually self-level the whole unit. This right here is for heating the battery. It does have the lithium batteries, so anything under like 30 degrees, you want to turn this heater on to make sure they're functioning properly.
Which I didn't even know that was a thing, so that's very cool.
Me neither, so I'm very happy it has that. And then this is the inverter, so you can actually convert the battery power to 110. And this is for the water heater. So it's very nice how the unit is so compartmentalized where everything is kind of in an area. Instead of having like 4 different sections where you would access all of this, it's right here. So very convenient. And then right here, of course, it has another one of the master control centers and an entry handle light.
Ooh.
Very nice.
I love this part. Look how sleek this looks. And it's like, where's the burners? Well, you open that up and there's 2 burners here. It is on propane, so that's also really nice. I enjoy that. That's kind of like a hit or miss. Some people like the electric. A lot of people prefer the propane. Let us know in the comments what you like.
And also it does have a spark on there because a lot of times you're gonna have to use a match to ignite the actual propane stream. But this one, all in one.
All in one. It's perfect. And it also has this little splash guard too. And another thing that I love about this van is it has privacy shades. Check this out.
Wow, look at that. Dang, with the locks right there. That's very innovative. I actually had never seen that before.
It's very nice. And then let's say it's nighttime. You want to actually completely shade it out.
Dang, look at that.
That's very nice. And it's all along the whole RV, even the door.
Yeah, I think the only windows that don't have it are going to be the actual front windows, which there is a curtain that you can actually put up there and separate this entire space. Very private throughout the motorhome. And before we get to the last final things, over here is going to be the Firefly system. So here you can access the lights. So if you want to turn all the lights off, all the lights on, you can do them individually. Right here, the air conditioning, the heat, all that good stuff. And then right here is actually going to be one of my favorite features, and that's the auto gen start. So let's say that we have to go away from the RV for a little bit. We don't have Walter with us, so he's in here. If it gets too hot, it'll actually turn the generator on and then turn the air conditioning on and make sure it brings it down to a good temperature. So Wally isn't in here sweating it out, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good safety feature for him.
It's kind of like a car that automatically will kick on the air conditioner when you're not in it. I think Teslas might do that.
I would say, what car does that?
I think Tesla has like dog mode or something like that. So it's pretty much like that if you're familiar. So up here we have more storage. This one you just push open. And then there is an optional blow-up mattress that the previous owners got, which is very nice because what you can do is...
An additional charge.
It's an additional charge for sure. And then this opens up, and I kind of show you a little bit of how that works. So we just take off this cushion right here, take off this cushion right here. There is seatbelts in these 2 seats, so you can actually drive with 4 people that all have their own seatbelts. And then right here, this will actually come up, flip down. Well, it's gonna hit the seat right now, so I'm not gonna do it in this moment, but this will flip down and it actually creates a platform that between these 2 areas will create a little single bed. And then the blow-up mattress, if you were to turn these 2 seats completely around and move them all the way back, the blow-up mattress has 2 compartments, one that fills up this space and one that fills up this space, and you could sleep possibly 2 people.
Yeah, I believe it's like 1 full person, then maybe like a short person.
Yeah, so maybe like someone who's 5 feet and someone who's 6 feet right here.
There it is, yeah.
You know? And then up here, we just have the cockpit area. I mean, it's on a Mercedes chassis, so you have a nice 10.2 inch display right there. The cruise control is incredible. It has electronic steering, so it's like you could steer this literally with your pinky finger.
Don't do that.
I'm not gonna do it.
Don't do that.
But I've tried it and it does work. But I like to have both hands on the steering wheel. I like to feel official and have a command of the road. Over here, I guess, you know, might as well show you everything. This is another storage area. We do have one of Wally's bags in here at the moment. And then it has the under storage going on right there. That's pretty much it.
Well, there is one thing that I'm super stoked about. Before I show you the main event, let me just show you, because I didn't show you this. Look at all these drawers.
Wow, look at that. So much storage.
Look at that.
Bubble wrap.
You know how many pots we can put in here? How many pans? And it has these little hooks for towels you can just dry your hands with, which is really cool. And like I said earlier, this thing right here really provides an extra counter space. But here comes the main event. Let's say you're cooking a lot, you need a lot more space. Well, no big deal. Look at this.
Dang. That's actually a crazy amount of space to have in a Class B like this.
It is so cool. I mean, right now, I would love this amount of counter our space. So the fact that I'm getting it in a van in my new home, it's a dream come true.
Okay, and it's so easy just to put down, to put back up.
You will clamp it. There it is. All right, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this very up close and personal tour of the van. We had so much fun, but if there's something we missed out or something you're curious about, let us know in the comments below. Also, we're taking recommendations for the internet because that's our biggest hurdle right now. And I'm personally looking for recommendations on like an area rug. I would love to have a few rugs in here just to warm it up, but definitely let us know in the comments below. But I'm so excited. It was so fun to take the van out, to see it against the Lake Paris scenery. It was gorgeous.
It was incredibly gorgeous. It got me so excited about hitting the road in less than like 8 weeks, which is crazy to think about.
Oh my gosh, I am so stressed. There's so much to do in 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we got to go buy some supplies. We got to really start sorting out our stuff. And like you mentioned, we really need to figure out the internet. It's been stressing me out trying to figure out what is the best solution. So I'm very excited to read the comments and see what you guys recommend. And on that note,
we'll see you next time.
Bye.